It is Thursday, the 24th of December, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. We're back again talking about Lemon Demon. This time, though, we're talking about a song from his Christmas EP, I Am Become Christmas, which he released in 2012, because it is, of course, Christmas week here, and it is, in fact, Christmas Eve. Now, despite it being a Christmas EP, it's got other themes and topics because it is Lemon Demon, and he makes weird music. And this song isn't really about Christmas. It's more of a winter song. It's also weird and eldritch, but it is explicitly set on Christmas Eve, so that's fun. And it's on the Christmas EP, so we're talking about it today. That song is Aurora Borealis. I considered talking about Christmas Will Be Soon or Crypto Santa, but Aurora Borealis is set on Christmas Eve, and it's a great song, so I figured I would talk about it today. And I also feel like it's the best known song from this EP. But anyway, this song is very strange and lyrically a bit vague and confusing, so we're going to be talking through the lyrics and kind of interpreting them and whatever, but mostly it's just an experience, I guess. So let's go listen to it now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. And that's Aurora Borealis by Lemon Demon. It's a strange song, to say the least. The lyrics tell a story about the apocalypse happening on Christmas Eve, but there's all sorts of implications about the narrator and their involvement. Some people think it's a time loop. That seems to be the most common interpretation of it I see. Some people think of it as he is specifically causing the apocalypse. There's all sorts of interpretations of it. I'm not really gonna settle on a specific one. I'm just gonna kind of bring them up as we go through it, because I don't entirely know what's happening here, but I love the imagery and I love the lyrics, because it is Neil. I mean, he's great at writing lyrics that might not make complete sense, but they're just really evocative and interesting, you know? I do love the music also, because it has the Christmassy sort of shh, shh, shh thing going on in the percussion, like Jingle Bells, but it's also just a weird synthy song. I mean, this is from 2012, so this is between View Monster and Spirit Phone, and it definitely feels like a bridge towards Spirit Phone, the more kind of fully embodied and synthy sound of Spirit Phone, you know? Anyway, I think we should just start going through it. Beneath apocalyptic snowflakes from above, we're not in peril, we are in apocalypse. So let's go walking or Christmas shopping. No, let's do something a bit more shocking. Let's go to the windmill, let's find some catharsis. Let's go to the graveyard and cover of darkness. And it's okay, I've done this tons of times. Well, maybe once a year since I was very young. It will be fine, okay, I do this all the time, and nothing could go wrong unless that's what you'd like. So, apocalyptic snowflakes implies a nuclear winter, but given the tenor of the rest of this EP, I almost see it as he is referring to Christmas as itself being an apocalypse, if that makes sense. So the snowflakes are apocalyptic because it shouldn't be snowing. Does that make sense? We're not in peril, we are in apocalypse. Hilarious. This is a strange, silly, trying to twist the word as we're in apocalypse. Yeah, that's real reassuring. So let's go walking or Christmas shopping. No, let's do something a bit more shocking. Pretty self-explanatory. Let's go to the windmill. Let's find some catharsis. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I think he's just saying, come with me. Let's go to the graveyard and cover of darkness. It's just a spooky image. It's okay. I've done this tons of times. Well, maybe once a year since I was very young. That's what makes people think that this is a time loop story, that he's looping through the apocalypse. I don't know if that's what's going on here. Like I said, I feel like you can also read it as, he is the one causing the apocalypse, which other people have said, and he's saying that he's been doing this once a year since he was very young, and then it'll be fine, okay, I do this all the time, like I said, and nothing could go wrong unless that's what you'd like. He's trying to impress someone, and he's saying, I'm not naughty unless you're into that, And then the chorus, is this the first time that you've ever seen Aurora Borealis crush mankind? The wind chimes, chiming with the screams, a pretty winter night, your hand in mine. The horizon is a fog from the breath of everyone, and I hope you're having fun. I just had to share with someone. So, I suppose I should explain what Aurora Borealis is. Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights as it's also known, is a strange phenomenon. It's this light display that appears in the sky in certain areas of the world, particularly the Arctic and snowy areas, hence the song, I suppose. So it is in some ways associated with Christmas because it's kind of associated with Lapland, with Santa. But yeah, it's just this strange light show that goes on in the sky in certain places. And I actually recently, this was like probably a year ago at this point. It was a while ago. No, it wasn't a year ago. It was definitely this year because I have my good phone. Earlier this year, you could see the Northern Lights from where I am in Sligo, which was wild, but I managed to get some photos of it, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so here he's saying, is this the first time you've ever seen Aurora Borealis crush mankind? And so it sounds like he's saying that the apocalypse is being brought about by the Northern Lights. And this could be implying that he's just gone mad. It could be implying that the Northern Lights are causing the apocalypse. He's saying, is this the first time, which could be implying the whole time loop thing, but it also could be him saying that he does it and he's just being flippant. You know, there's all sorts of ways to interpret it. The wind chimes chiming with the screams, just such a grim image, but you can picture it, right? Like a snow blizzard blowing through the wind chimes, people dying, and it all kind of blending together. A pretty winter night, your hand in mine. Complete contrast to the previous line. The horizon is a fog from the breath of everyone. A really interesting line here. He's saying that like all these people dying and giving up their breath is forming a fog, and I hope you're having fun. I just had to share with someone. It makes it sound like a burden or a curse, you know? This is the empty building that I call my home. Baby, it's cold inside. Don't leave me here alone. There's no good movies, but there's a fire. Well, scented candles that are on fire. So let's take the night off, be joyful and joyously, enjoy the moonrise and let it destroy us. And it's okay as long as we believe we'll be okay. As if anything could go wrong on Christmas Eve, okay? You know, I'm glad you're here so I can show you this before I disappear. So apparently he lives in an empty building, and he says, baby, it's cold inside. Don't leave me here alone, which is, of course, twisting on the classic, baby, it's cold outside. There's no good movies, but there's a fire. I love this bit. He's inviting her in to watch movies with him, but he says there's a fire, and then he says, well, scented candles that are on fire. It's such a funny backtrack on that. Anyway, so let's take the night off, be joyful and joyously, and enjoy the moonrise and let it destroy us. So again, he's talking about the world ending on Christmas because it's Christmas Eve, right? So it does feel like Christmas itself is the apocalypse here. And he's talking about doing it every year because it's like Christmas happens once a year. And it's okay as long as we believe we'll be okay, as if anything could go wrong on Christmas Eve. So of course, setting it in a specific time. But I do love that because he's saying like, you know, nothing's going to go wrong on Christmas Eve, as if that means anything, you know, as if that matters. Things will happen when they happen. And there's plenty of holiday horror movies to affirm that. Okay, you know, I'm glad you're here so I can show you this before I disappear. Now, before I disappear, maybe he's thinking he'll die in the apocalypse, but also you can interpret it in the time loop sense that, like, this is what's freeing him from the loop, you know? Or he's about to loop again. And then the chorus again, is this the first time that you've ever seen Aurora Borealis crush mankind? A flashlight underneath my chin, pretty winter night, your hand in mine. Now we're swallowed by the fog from the breath of everyone. I can barely see you now, but your smile is a frown. Yeah, I knew it had to stop because I always mess it up, and I get it if you run. I just had to share with someone. So, you know, the first line of the chorus is repeated from earlier, but then a flashlight underneath my chin is the thing that people do around the campfire when they're telling spooky stories. So it does kind of sound like he's just telling her stories. It's not actually true. And then now we're swallowed by the fog from the breath of everyone. I can barely see you now, but your smile is a frown. So she's not enjoying this like he wanted her to. Yeah, I knew it had to stop because I always mess it up, and I get it if you run, I just had to share with someone. That's what really makes it sound like he is the cause of the apocalypse. I knew it had to stop because I always mess it up, and I get it if you run, I just had to share with someone. It kind of sounds like he's confessing and like he's giving himself up, you know, to be judged. Anyway, a weird ass song with many different interpretations, but a Christmas song nonetheless in its own weird way. That's going to be pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell other people about the show. Thank you so much for listening, and join me tomorrow for our Christmas Day episode. But anyway, Aurora Borealis. At this time of day, at this time of year, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen. Yes. May I see it? No. Ooh, that was a belch. Seymour, the house is on fire. No, Mother, it's just the Northern Lights. And it's okay as long as we'll believe we'll be okay, as if anything could go. Why do we keep doing that?